Good morning. Welcome to another travel vlog from Florida. This is the Lee County rest area just outside of Fort Myers where I spent the night. And what I'm going to do today is go down to the Everglades. But first, since I slept in the car and it was pretty humid, I feel like I need a shower. So I'm going to go up to take a truck stop shower, which is a few miles north of here. I'm going to Love's Travel Stop, which is my favorite of the three major truck stop chains. There's one not too far from here, so I'm going to go grab a truck stop shower. Then I'm going to hit the road for the Everglades. So, come along for the ride. This is one of my favorite things in the entire state of Florida. Maybe even more favorite than going to the beach. The Everglades are so much fun. Just finished up inside at the Love's Travel Center in North Fort Myers, Florida, and I came out to some real Florida weather, which is heavy rain and some thunder. But they say in Florida, just wait a half hour, it'll go away. I checked the radar weather, it's just passing through. But it's a big long line of storms, so I'll probably be driving through it most of the way to the Everglades, but it should be clear by the time I get down there, or shortly thereafter. So I feel better, feel clean, changed my clothes. I'm wearing jeans today rather than shorts because it's really not going to be, it's not going to be any colder than yesterday, but I'm not going to be at the beach. So jeans and a t-shirt today. The car says it's 75 degrees right now. It held steady at 74 all night. I didn't have to run the heat or anything. I slept in shorts and a t-shirt with no heat on. And I was warm enough. Like the humidity helped, made it even more comfortable. I love it down here. And I got really fortunate inside as I was waiting in line to pay for the shower, because there's like the regular counter for the convenience store, and then there's a separate counter which is geared towards truckers. But anybody can go over there, anybody can use the showers. And I was waiting in line to pay for a shower, and the woman behind the counter was like, "I'm gonna be really nice. Here you go, it's free." And she gave me the shower slip, which was awesome. Saved me $12 plus tax. And it works like they give you a little receipt with I think it's like a 6 or 8 digit numeric code on it, and then you go up to the door of the shower, and there's like a little keypad that's like that big, and you punch in your code and it unlocks the door. And they had I think they had 6 or 8 showers at this travel stop. It was which is about average. There was no wait. They had like 5 of them open, so I didn't even feel rushed because nobody was waiting. You technically get unlimited time, but if there's a line and people are waiting, like, you try to hurry it up a little bit. So I will check in from probably, I don't know, I'm going to stop at Dollar Tree and then head to the Everglades. I don't know if I'll vlog at Dollar Tree. It probably won't, because I'm just going to tell you what I'm getting right now. The Everglades are open 24 hours, so I'm going to be there late into the night, well after dark, to try to spot some alligators, because you can go on the trails and the boardwalks and look for gators after dark, which is amazing. I saw a gator like snap up out of the water and eat a fish last time I was down there a couple of years ago, and I really could have used a flashlight. Like, luckily I was on a ranger guided tour at that time, and some other people had flashlights, but I'm gonna stop at Dollar Tree, grab a flashlight and like 3 packs of extra batteries, and be better prepared this time. So I'll check in a little bit. Made it to the Everglades, obviously, and this is the part of the park where there's the most alligators, because this is not my first time here. This is one of my favorite things to do in all of Florida. Big old gator right off the bat. I've been here literally 2 minutes. I'm not going to spend a tremendous amount of time here right now. I'm going to come back here after dark and look for gators. So I'm going to do the other parts of the park that aren't really as fun at night. Ever wonder what the base of a palm tree looks like? So tropical. Oh, I wish I didn't have to go home this weekend. So my two favorite parts of the park are that alligator section up front where I just was briefly, but I'm going to do that after dark. And then my other favorite section is way down at the bottom where you can see the ocean. So I'm stopping to do a few things quickly along the way because it's 35 miles from the entrance to the bottom of the park. It's that big. And this is only like 5 miles in. This is the second stop after where the alligators are, is actually right kind of by the entrance. Doing a little walk in here called the Pinelands Trail. Know there was a lake this big in here. I guess I must have just missed this area last time I was here, or I don't know, but this is pretty cool. There's a boat launch like right over that way. 6 horsepower limit, so you can have a small outboard here, or like a canoe, kayaks, rowboat, something like that. Kind of makes me wish I had a boat right now. Made it down to the very bottom of the national park. This is as far as the road goes. It's very buggy. There's so many mosquitoes out here, which nobody likes mosquitoes. But it's a sign of how warm it is. It's 79 degrees right now. It was about 81, 82 most of the day. It's about 5:15, freaking mosquitoes. It's about 5:15 in the evening. I'm gonna stay here till dark, then head back up to see the alligators after dark. This is one of my favorite parts of the park. This is the Atlantic Ocean right out here. The Florida Keys are out there. You can't really see them. And don't quote me on that. I'm actually not 100% sure, but I'll show you around. This is the visitor center, but they're redoing it, which I remember it was pretty old from last time I was here. I mean, it's shut down right now anyway, because the government shut down. But, you know, at least they didn't close the park. That would have really sucked if they just shut the gates. Like, there was no admission fee to get in today. So, despite all that's going on, the park is open, so that's really awesome. And I didn't have to pay to get in. So there's the visitor center that's currently closed and being redone. Parking and boat launch over there. There's a little tiny store over there that I've never actually been to, but that's unaffected by the government shutdown. And it looks like this is a temporary visitor center while they make the build the new one. Although that's closed right now too. So a little more about the government shutdown affecting the park. It doesn't really affect it that much, other than like these visitor centers are closed and about half the restrooms were closed. I encountered one set of closed restrooms and one that was open and completely functional, and then one that was open but it didn't have any soap. So all in all, and that doesn't really detract from the experience. The only thing that's really noticeably missing are the ranger-led programs, but I did those last time and know like where to look for the gators later on, so I'm good. It's been dark skies all day, but it's finally starting to rain a little bit, so I'm gonna go over here and move the car over towards the boat launch, because that's where I wanted to watch the sun go down, just in case it opens up and pours like Florida has been known to do. Just because there's like that building behind me and that one right there, it's still a very remote rural area. You have to drive 35 miles on the park road to get down here. And there's way more parking than what's needed right now. Like, there's people over there who are here for boats. There's a few boat trailers in the parking lot. And then there's just my car right over there. Not my car, my rental car. I drive an F-150. The small car's actually been driving me nuts, but it's very economical on the gas mileage. So I've been 2,150 miles in this car on this trip so far. They're gonna be several hundred more before it's over. Still haven't decided what I'm doing tomorrow or Saturday. As I told you yesterday, I'm flying home Sunday. It's just so peaceful down here. Like, I mean, it's just a wonderful place. And if you look back, you can't see it from here, but like back that way, if you go about another quarter mile down the park road literally just ends and it turns into a campground. There's like some campers, there's a lot of tent camping in there, and people were still camping. So that's good that, again, it's really good that despite the government shutdown, they didn't like just shut the gates and turn everybody away, because I mean that can be devastating if you have a vacation planned a long time in advance. So enough about that. Let's go see the ocean. It's raining pretty good, thundering and lightning too. Didn't get any of it on video, but there's some pretty good booms of thunder, and it's that's one, and it's really cool. So I'm under this like picnic area canopy right now, and there actually are functioning restrooms here. Really old, but everything's well stocked. So that was nice. So I do want to go down by the water. I'm going to see if the rain lets up a little bit, and if it doesn't let up by the time the sun's getting ready to go down, I'm going to go over there anyway. There's so many boat launches here. It looks like there's a double wide ramp right here to launch 2 boats, and there's 2 of them. So there's two double wide boat ramps, and then there's just a big open area that looks like it could also be used for a boat ramp. So I would say you could probably launch like 7, maybe 8 boats at the same time right here. At least 6 boats at the same time, if the drivers of the, truck towing the trailer knew what they were doing, that is. And this isn't the only boat launch either. There's like another one over there that's just as big, so you could launch a lot of boats here. And there's so much parking. I bet in the summer it's going to be mobbed, because it's been winter every time I've been here. Although there's really no such thing as winter in Florida. I mean, it's January, I'm wearing a t-shirt, and even in the rain it's 78 degrees. Alright, here comes the thunder. Just saw some big lightning. And the lightning always comes before the thunder. I'm really not big into boating, and it's really too cold to go boating in New England where I am, at least for my tastes. But man, when I'm somewhere like this, it makes me wish I had a boat. Not that I could afford it anyway. I'd have to cut back on travel, and you know that ain't gonna happen. I love my travel. Now the rain is really picking up. It's 5:54 in the evening, and there's not a tremendous amount of daylight left, but we'll see what happens. I'm still kind of hoping it's going to stop raining before daylight's all gone, but I don't know. So I just hung out for about a half hour under there watching the storm, and from there to where the car was parked is about 50 feet, and my feet are soaked to the bone, completely. My feet are saturated with rainwater because the parking lot here, the flow and the drainage is awful. And I'm just now finding that out, and I was like, there was this puddle that was so big, I would have had to walk like several hundred feet to get around it. And I was like, oh, screw it, I'll just walk through it, not realizing how deep it actually was. And man, my feet are soaked. Not the end of the world. I have dry socks with me, and I can just put the heat on the floor setting, crank it all the way up, and dry out my shoes. So not a day ruiner by any means at all. Just a little bit of mildly annoying, but I'm gonna sit in the car here for a little bit, see if the rain lets up. I still want to walk around out there more. I just don't feel like getting completely soaked, because I'm not staying in an Airbnb or a hotel tonight where I could just go and change my clothes and reset. I'm sleeping here in the car again tonight, so I'd like to not get soaked, but we'll see. We'll see what happens. I may get out anyway. And I knew there was something I was going to forget at Dollar Tree. I should have got a rain poncho. That didn't even occur to me. Changed my mind. I don't care if I get soaked or not. I really want to walk over here and see the ocean, so I parked the car as close as possible, and here we go. This looks like such a fun spot to go boating. The rain's actually let up quite a bit. It's just sprinkling right now. That tower really shouldn't be there. That's kind of an eyesore back up in here. And there is the ocean. This is amazing. This video is not going to do this justice. It's just not. So here's the visitor center that is closed for remodeling, rebuild. I don't know if they're going to remodel it, rebuild it, what they're going to do, but there it is. And it's closed now, but like I said, I was in there last time I was here, and it's definitely needed. It's pretty old. Open ocean. I'm not really sure how many miles away, but out this way is the Florida Keys. I don't know if you could see them on a clear day. I really honestly don't know. Here comes the rain again, but at least I saw this much. I'm going to put the camera away and enjoy it for a minute or two. Alright, so I am back in Homestead. I drove through up through the park to the main entrance, and I drove out far enough to get cell phone reception so that I could look up the radar weather, and there's still some more rain coming through, but it was on the way out. So I am going to go back to the park and go to where the alligators are at Royal Palms, but I'm going to give the rain some time to move out, because that's going to be way more fun if it's not raining. So I came back into Homestead, which is only about 20 minutes from the park entrance, which is like the most populated place in this area. It's got like shopping malls and, you know, big box retail stores and fast food and all that kind of stuff. So I went to the Publix supermarket, which is it's like very much so the most dominant supermarket chain in Florida. But I really can't see why, because it's so expensive in there. I was going to get a prepared sandwich or something, because I felt like a cold cut sandwich tonight. Just, you know, something different, because I've been eating fast food and pizza and all the, you know, all the good stuff. But sometimes you feel like something else. So what happened was they were just so dang expensive in there. I just like, the heck with this. So I got a bottle of chocolate milk, which was not a tremendous value, but it was like regular price. And I got a bottle of chocolate milk because I've been craving that all week for some reason. And then I went and I got I'll turn it around to show you. I got a Little Caesars pizza, so I'm going to eat this here in the car, and then I'm going to head back over to the park. And look how much trash is on the floor of the car. I just haven't bothered to clean it out. I'll probably do it like once later in the week, right before I return the car. Alright, so I'm in the car. I know it's hard to see me, bear with me. I'm back in Everglades National Park. This area that I'm at right now is called Royal Palms. This is where I was earlier in the day, and just was here really briefly, and where I took the pictures with the alligators and said I was going to come back later at night. So it's about 10:30 at night right now. I'm the only one here, the only car in the parking lot. There's other people in the park right now because there's camping, but that's like 25 miles south of here. So as far as I know, I'm all completely alone, but national parks are 24 hours. They don't close. And I didn't have to pay to come in once again because the government shut down. So to give you some background here, when I was at Everglades National Park about, time flies, 2 years ago. I was about to say 1 year. When I was first here 2 years ago, and the park, there wasn't a government shutdown, and the park was operating as normal. And they have ranger-led programs at national parks. So I did the ranger-led program for this area. It was about, I want to say they did it at like 8:30, 9 o'clock at night, something like that. And the night I did it, there was maybe 25, 30 people in the group, led by a park ranger. I still remember his name. I think it was Ranger Doug. I'm not 100% sure, but I remember him saying, like, call me Ranger Doug, or I guess that's irrelevant. But anyhow, the ranger led us all through this area, which is boardwalks, like you saw earlier in the video. So it's boardwalks. It's one big loop that just loops right around. I want to say it's, I really don't know how far it is. It's 3/4 of a mile, maybe, roughly speaking. But I'm going to go and walk the trail all by my lonesome out here. There's no cell phone coverage. Government shutdown. There's no park rangers that'll come if something happens. So, I mean, I'm familiar with the area, so it's all good. And it's just a boardwalk with rails. It's like impossible to get lost. You just follow the boardwalk and it loops back around and you'll eventually get to the exit. So I got a flashlight with several sets of extra batteries. I got my phone flashlight as a backup. Okay, so it's extremely hard to see. I mean, I admit I don't have the world's greatest camera, but it is pitch black out here except for my flashlight. So here, let me just to prove that I'm not just sitting in the car with the lights off. Here's some vegetation. Here's the stone wall next to the path. You can kind of see that I really am out there in the swamp. And here's the trail. Okay, well anyway, since you can't really see nothing, I'm not going to record too much video out here. Ooh, flash of lightning, this is so cool. Not going to record too much video out here, but I'll just explain a few things. So this, you can see the marshy grass right here. Looking out beyond it is that big pond where I videoed earlier today. So, I can see right now that there are 3 gators in here. The way you can tell is by shining the flashlight, and I can see it in real life, you can't see it on the video. By shining this flashlight on the surface of the water, the alligator's eyes will be reflective, so they're going to reflect like reddish, not really, kind of reddish green. And you can tell that that's an alligator for sure because they'll be moving very slowly. So there's one off to my left, probably 100 yards away, out in the water. There's one to my right, probably 50 yards away. And then there's another one off to my right that looks like he's climbing out kind of onto the bank a little bit. That's probably 20, 25 yards away. And again, I'm not in any danger because they can't really climb up onto the boardwalk. And alligators are afraid of people. I mean, am I in a little bit of danger if they climb up towards me? Yeah, but that's just so unlikely, and I don't even care. The odds of something bad happening are very low. Like right here, they could climb up if they really put in supreme effort, but out where I'm going in a few minutes down the boardwalk further, no chance they could get up there. The rain finally stopped. It's sprinkling ever so lightly right now, but it's so light I don't even really feel it. And the radar weather, everything's moving out. And you can hear some fish around here too. You can hear fish splashing around in the water. The fish in these parts are called a gar, G-A-R. And I'm not going to try to describe what they look like. They have a unique shape, but if you want to see it, Google it. So the alligator off to my left, the one that was about, I don't know, right now he's probably 100 yards away. Looks like he's getting further away. The one off to my right, about 50 yards away, is about the same place he was. And the one that's climbing up onto the bank, or maybe, I don't know that for sure, but he's going over that way. Looks like he's in about the same place too. Another flash of lightning. It's pretty buggy out here. Not as bad as down at the bottom where that boat launch was, but it's still pretty buggy. Alright, I'm going to end it here since you can't see a darn thing. But again, just to prove that I'm not just sitting in the car yapping. Here's some vegetation from the swamp. See if I can get the water. The water's like kind of down there. It's hard to see it. Like this flashlight that I have is not bad. It's pretty dang good, but I could, you know, it's still not like the $50 flashlight from Cabela's or anything. Alright, so I'll talk to you guys back in the car. Don't know if you heard it, but I just heard one of the fish jump over this way. Alright, I'll talk to you guys in the car in a little bit. One more clip so that you can listen to the sounds out here of just the pure Florida Everglades wilderness.